Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you're completely alone inside your car. Outside, snow is falling so heavily that you can't even see the hood of your own vehicle. Your hands are trembling, not just from the cold, but because a small voice inside your head keeps whispering, something terrible is about to happen. And then, out of nowhere, crash! In person, on the morning of Monday, January 19th, 2026, on Interstate 196 in northern Michigan, United States. And today, I'm going to tell you everything. That morning started like any other winter day in Michigan. I started my pickup truck, cranked up the cabin heater, and hit the road. The streets looked calm. Cold, but calm. But the moment I entered the I-196 corridor, everything changed within minutes. The wind came without warning. Snow was no longer falling from the sky. It was being launched horizontally, slamming into my windshield like a thick white curtain that swallowed everything in sight. In an instant, my visibility was gone completely. I slowed down. 25 miles per hour. Then 20. Even slower than that. Around me, other vehicles were crawling too. Massive semi-trucks, family sedans, SUVs, all creeping forward together in a silence that felt suffocating. At that moment, I had no idea that these were the final seconds before I-196 turned into a disaster zone. I was still gripping the steering wheel when the sound hit. Loud, sudden, like an explosion. Then crash, crash, crash. One after another, relentless, getting closer, like a row of giant dominoes collapsing one by one, and I was right in the middle of it all. I slammed the brakes with everything I had. My pickup stopped. My breath froze in my chest. In my rearview mirror, total chaos. Headlights spinning in every direction. Smoke rising through the blizzard. Shards of metal flying through the air. Massive trucks losing control and plowing into anything in their path. One by one, mercilessly, unstoppably. More than 100 vehicles. That's the number I later found out. Including 30 to 40 semi-trucks piled on top of each other like toys thrown carelessly by an invisible giant hand. I knew I couldn't stay where I was. Sitting in an active lane meant inviting the next crash to hit me from behind. With trembling hands and a heart pounding almost out of my chest, I turned the wheel toward the median, that narrow dividing strip in the center of the highway, and I parked there. And from that spot, I watched everything unfold. Horns blared uselessly among the wreckage of twisted metal. Some people stumbled out of their vehicles, staggering through the storm, and the snow kept falling peacefully, as if nature didn't care at all about the destruction it had just created. It was terrifying just hearing those violent crashes behind me. I could see what was ahead, but I had no idea what was happening behind me. That's exactly what I felt. Words that even now feel far too simple to capture the horror of that moment. Once everything settled, the facts began to surface, and every single one made me realize just how razor-thin the line between survival and tragedy truly was that day. The temperature had dropped to -8 degrees Fahrenheit, already accounting for wind chill that cut through skin like an invisible blade. The National Weather Service, the NWS, had actually issued warnings the night before. They reported a massive snowstorm was coming, with accumulations of up to 14 inches across parts of southwest and west central Michigan. The NWS had even released a statement that no one should have ignored. Travel is not recommended in this area. And yet, hundreds of vehicles kept moving, and I-196 became a deadly trap that no one ever imagined they'd be driving into that morning. Michigan State Police immediately shut down the entire stretch of highway. Emergency teams fought through equally dangerous conditions just to reach the victims. Hours after the incident, not a single vehicle could pass through. And then came the news that, honestly, felt like nothing short of a miracle in the middle of all that chaos. No fatalities were believed to have occurred. Several people were injured, but their lives were spared. A small miracle on a very dark day. When the road finally began to clear and I was able to continue my journey, I didn't just hit the gas and drive away. I sat in silence inside my car. A few minutes, just still. Outside, heavy machinery began clearing the wreckage piece by piece. Emergency crews were still moving back and forth, and the snow still falling gently and quietly as if nothing had ever happened. That's when something hit me. Something that might sound simple, but I felt it deep in my bones. Nature never bluffs, and a warning is never just a suggestion. It is the line between life and death. A pileup involving 100 vehicles can happen in a matter of seconds, but the impact, physical, mental, and emotional, can last far, far longer than that. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people you love. And when nature sends you a warning sign, listen to it. Thank you for witnessing this story with me here on Viral Scope World. If this video made you feel something, whether that's chills, shock, or gratitude, drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because stories like this one, raw and real and unforgettable, will keep coming right here. See you in the next one.